Alright, so let me take you for a ride on the NIU M Sport, a scooter limited to 45 kilometers per hour that I've purchased about a year ago. Actually, it was purchased October 2018 and delivered in the spring of 2019, and now we're in the summer of 2020. I have ridden 1,059 kilometers on it. I like it. It's a great scooter for city dwelling, urban riding, stop and go traffic. It has a very zippy acceleration out of lights. It has lightweight, very good looks, and features a GPS, internet connection. It has a sister app where you can locate the scooter. You can check the battery voltage remotely. You can also do diagnostics remotely. You can then save those diagnostics on your telephone, and you can email the diagnostics to your local provider. Now I'm going to show you one of the let's say the weak points of this scooter. It's the power output. On an uphill climb, I have trouble getting to my top speed of 45 kilometers per hour. I am an adult of 88 kilos and as you can see, the bike struggles on a very small incline. This is because the bike itself, or the scooter itself, is limited in power. It has a Panasonic battery and a Bosch motor. The motor is located in the rear wheel. The Panasonic battery is under my seat, and the combination of the two limits the speed by the power delivered. When the battery is charged, like now, over 90%, it delivers a good amount of voltage and amperage, so I have a zippy acceleration. And even with that zippy acceleration, I cannot sustain 45 kilometers per hour on an incline, which is a shame. For the rest, if it's a rather flat terrain, it can carry up to 2 passengers. There are foot holders for the rear passenger. I've got double discs for the brakes. I have, what do I say more? Double suspension. It has a very good LCD display where it indicates speed, odometer and battery capacity in 2 formats, percentage and graphic. And it has mode 1 and mode 2 of power delivery, mode 2 being the full power, and mode 1 it's a decreased power output. It has 2 rear view mirrors, but they are not wide enough, so I end up seeing most of my arm instead of the traffic behind me. This is a scooter in the legal sense of 45 kilometers per hour. You must have a car permit, at least. And you must have an insurance for this scooter. You must wear a helmet. You must wear a motorcycle helmet, not a bike helmet. And of course, you must keep your car license up to date. If you lose it, you can't ride the scooter anymore. You cannot ride the scooter on highways. It's limited only for country roads and city dwelling. The features that also are included in this scooter are a sound alarm. So you have an alarm. You can press the remote control and set the alarm on. Then if somebody touches your bike, vibrates your bike, or if there's some wind or stuff, it will beep to catch the attention of bystanders to the fact that somebody is touching your scooter. It has also beep, as you can hear. It has other audio warnings for the blinkers, left and right, and the blinkers are also activated, or rather deactivated, by leaning on turn and then leaning back vertical. It will deactivate automatically the blinkers. There are also cruise controls, so you don't have to be twisting and holding the accelerator all the time. And I'm going to demonstrate. Just press the cruise control, the symbol appears, and then you can let go of the accelerator, which is very handy for long stretches of country road riding. Not so much for the city. I would not use it in this circumstance here, but just for the demonstration purposes today. The range of this scooter is about 60 to 70 kilometers with full speed, mode 2, and a rider of my weight. In the winter, you will lose about 30% of that range due to cold battery, internal resistance of that cold battery. If you want to have some extra kilometers in the winter, I would advise you to take the very handy, small, compact size battery up to your house. Keep it in warm it up, keep it loaded under warmth, and then when you put it on in your scooter, you will have a few more minutes of very nice charge. This scooter also has regenerative braking, and when you press the brakes, it will be a combination of disc braking and motor in the rear hub braking. The regenerative braking will also transfer electricity to your battery, but not very much, 6 to 9% of the regenerative of the power. Here we go. But it does help reduce the wear and tear on your brakes and brake pads, which is a nice feature. So the NIU scooter is a Chinese built and Chinese engineered scooter, but it also has international name brands such as Bosch and Panasonic, which let's say give you a kind of certainty about the quality of the product. It has been homologated in Europe, which is also a good sign. I purchased it via Indiegogo when it was being released, and now it has several representatives all around Europe, which is also something nice when you need servicing on the scooter. So it's not just a scooter that you can buy online, it's also a scooter that has service support where you're living. Right? Very good brakes, as you can see. Zippy Acceleration. The operation of this scooter is completely silent. It's vibration free, and compared to a fuel scooter, you don't have the motor idling when you're standing still. You don't have to worry about the fumes. You don't have to worry about the fuel lines and fuel filters and spark plugs, and you don't have a clutch to worry about, and you don't even have a chain. You don't have to lubricate the chain. You don't have to worry about chain wear and chain rings to worry about. The disadvantage of having a hub motor is that it's not how do you say, it's unsprung weight, so it gives the suspension different characteristics. Other than that, it's great. It's simplicity itself, and you don't have to worry so much about maintenance. I'm expecting that I will need to maintain in this scooter maybe my brake pads, and the tires will have to be inflated, and when they are worn out, replaced. Maybe later on I'll have problems with the surface of my seat if I wear it out with jeans and stuff like that. But that's all. Now this scooter has different options, has different accessories. I mean, And you could, I have been supplied with a phone holder, which I'm not using today. We will attach it here to the rear view mirror. It has been supplied also with a scooter cover, which is great. I use that a lot so that you keep the dust and the pollen away from your scooter. It makes you have to wash it less frequently, which is great. I also was supplied with a leg cover, so you can ride when it's cold. And it had a backrest for the passenger, which I don't use because I want to have that space free, so I can put my leg over and around it very easily. And besides, I don't carry passengers very frequently. Only my son from time to time. And it's just for fun. So, all in all, a good package. Good features. I am sure I have missed a few. It's a good looking scooter. So anywhere you go in style. One thing I didn't mention is that it has a USB charger, and it has a place where you can hook a handbag, put a bottle of water in there, and an iPhone phone. And if you want, you can then connect the phone to the USB and keep it loaded. Nice feature. Yeah. All over the scooter there are soft rubber materials. The plastics are of great quality. The suspension is not ideal, but does a proper job for city riding, I must say. And when fully loaded, the battery really pushes you beyond the 45 km/h speed, and sometimes up to 50. But going uphill is where it doesn't shine at all. So that's something I would change in this scooter. I would create an electronic limitation to 45 km/h and make all the excess power beyond that speed available when you're going uphill. And I would then limit the speed on flat terrain to 45, just to save the battery. That's the only thing I would change in this scooter, really. All the rest is great. It has a dual foot stand, one that will keep the rear wheel up in the air and the bike vertical. The other, it's a side kickstand, which will disable the motor on the scooter, and it's kind of a temporary side thing. Easy to deploy, easier than the vertical kickstand. But if you have to check the tire or the motor operation, it's nice to have a vertical kickstand, because then the wheel is raised and it can spin freely. Yeah, it has daylight running LEDs. They are always on. There's one round LED and one central LED that are always on. And then when you press the high beams, two extra LEDs come up, are lit. The angle of the LEDs is not ideal because it's pointed up, and there is no way of changing the inclination because the light is fixed to the chassis. That could also be an improvement that they could work on. They could put the light here instead, so that you will point the light towards where you're driving. And this is a right priority. In the back there are blinkers, there is a U-shaped red light that is always on, and then there are also brake lights, all of them LEDs. The blinkers in the front are located under the control, and they are also LED. On the side of the scooter there are two white LEDs so that you can be seen from the sides, and there are other reflectors throughout the scooter that help you being seen at night. Overall, the package is very complete, lots of features, and the price was rather good, 2,500 euros. With the new model, they call it the MQI Plus instead of the M Sport. With the new model, I think the price went up a little bit, but it's totally worth it. If you compare that to the price of a knee bike that is fully suspended, will be upwards of 4,500 euros. Some e-bikes go up to 7,000 or 8,000 euros if you buy it from the brand Riesenmüller, for instance. And so comparatively, this scooter is very affordable. And for that price, I can certainly forgive all the less good design aspects. It's a very good quality to price ratio, for sure. Would I advise you put it on your top list? Yes, I would. I follow the market a little bit, and there are American scooters and European scooters that don't even come close to the features that this one has, and are very much pricey, are very expensive, costing 4,000 up to 7,000 euros if you buy the Vespa. And I don't find them any more good looking or any other features that would take me away from this scooter. So let's be honest. Have I had any problems with this? Yes. I have a battery management system communication fault, so it's a communication problem. And what it happens is that sometimes it communicates the battery percentage wrongly to the scooter. I've had once the problem where my battery capacity decreased very quickly, and I ended up being in the reduced power mode, pushing the bike with my legs uphill, and then it shut down when I was right in front of my house. And it was a fluke, never happened again. I'm trying to solve this problem with the new representative, but so far they haven't been able to solve it. The other thing I had was loss of hydraulic pressure on the right brake handle. After 1 year, they have topped off the hydraulic fluid, and that solved the problem, and now it's okay again. So minor problems, in my opinion, that would not disqualify anybody from owning this, buying this scooter. Then I'm going to demonstrate how you park this beautiful machine. Now I'm going to park it here. Put this down a little bit. So it's very easy to handle, even for a lady. It's you cannot raise it because it's quite heavy. I don't have the weight figures in memory, but here we go. Put this like this. As you can see, there are different hooks, and I have a water bottle here that I'm going to put in my bag, and I got my phone. Yeah, and here is the USB phone charger with a nice cover. Then you just switch it off, and in the remote you have a button like this, and if somebody touches your scooter, it will beep. And here's the look of the scooter from the side. Very good looking, in red color, and it comes with the app. In the app, they've also picked up the red color, So it's a little bit like a Tesla. And here I am across the city in a very quick manner. I'm ready to continue to my next rendezvous. Cheers.